Hello, Pilgrim and Ronin and scoundrels alike. I am Naiwal, and today in this video I am going to be giving you information that I wish I had had sooner whenever I was playing Starfield. As I said in my review video, I have had up to about 5 whole total days worth of playtime, and there were a lot of things that I was just not doing right, or things I was overlooking that could have been pretty beneficial for me if I had just focused on a little earlier. So in this video, I will be going over a couple of tips that I think can help improve your experience with Starfield. So starting off with the first tip, take a nap. Take a nap before you go out exploring a planet or to do a quest, or even run around Achilles City or New Atlantis. It gives you a 10% experience buff when you do it. At first, leveling up is fairly simple and straightforward, the lower the level you are, but as you get into the higher ranges later on in your 30, 40 area where you need more and more of it, this little 10% experience buff will be useful. There are a lot of skills in this game, and that means even more skill points to earn, which means more levels you've got to gain. Sometimes you can screw up an entire build by misplacing one skill point, and then you have to re-level again. So having the extra experience points will help. The other thing that will help with experience points is food. A skill that you can get to help improve the benefits of food is nutrition. This can increase the effectiveness of some of these experience buffs that you gain from food up to 50%. Outside of just experience buffs, food also give you resistances, O2 buffs, health buffs, plenty of options to choose from. So do not overlook this skill. And while we're at it, let's not overlook the gastronomy skill that you can get as well, which will allow you to make even better foods with better benefits. And then you get into a vicious circle of extra experience, and you'll be leveling up faster, getting more skill points to start making the builds that you really want to make and you really want to focus in. One of the starting backgrounds I think helps most with this kind of base idea of just getting as much experience as possible is the Pilgrim. Because you start off with the gastronomy skill, the scavenging skill, and the surveying skill, which all of these tie really well together. While we're talking about surveying, make sure you take the time to scan the area around you. That is instant experience, and whenever you finally land into another town after exploring a planet for a little while, all that scanner data that you have can be sold at a kiosk for extra credits. The scanner will also highlight lootable items as well as containers whenever you're exploring environments. It can be really useful whenever you're in a space station or some kind of outpost and it's really dark and you could hardly see anything. The scanner is also really good for helping you navigate around confusing areas. Pull it up, you'll notice that there are little arrows on the ground that will point you directly to where you need to go. This was actually pointed out to me by my friend last night because she was getting lost in the well trying to complete a quest. And she's like, oh, the scanner tells you where to go. And I was like, oh crap, you're right. I didn't notice that. So yeah, use the scanner to navigate around if you get confused where you're at. The scavenging skill allows you to find more credits in containers, which can really start bolstering your account. Credits are going to be the thing that allow you to get better ships, better guns, better spacesuits, you name it. This is what you need in order to improve some of your stuff, especially whenever it comes down to crafting, buying the ingredients for some of the food that you'll need to make in order to keep this vicious circle going. Buying resources that you need for your outposts or for improving your guns or improving these space suits. They can all be bought for the most part. So having more credits is never a bad thing. Also, anytime you land in a city, be sure to stop by any kiosk or general goods store because this is where you can find digipicks. I used to think that digipicks can only be found on dead bodies or just scattered around while you're looting some of these like space stations, but no, apparently they're extremely common to use within the settled systems, and most vendors sell them. They are relatively inexpensive, so might as well stockpile them because you'll never know whenever you need one. One of the things you can do early on To start making more is by going to a mission board. You can find this in Sidonia or in Aquila City. Usually check bar areas. This is usually where you'll find a mission board. And they will give you a list of bounties that you can perform. Now keep in mind, some of these could be difficult, such as like taking on a Crimson Fleet ghost or what have you. Just be prepared. Honestly, I would say take the surveying jobs at the very beginning, and then as you start getting better equipment, try to take on some of the bigger bounties. Now, if you want a less than legal way to make a lot of credits, join the Crimson Fleet. Now, you can join the Crimson Fleet as early as you like. All you have to do is say you just landed in New Atlantis, pick a random person and hit them in the face. Put your hands down, go talk to a cop. They're gonna arrest you. They will take you into a ship where you will be talked to by a guy named Commander Conde. This will start a quest called Deep Cover, where you are now going to essentially be playing as a undercover cop, infiltrating the Crimson Fleet. Just keep following along the quest, handle it however you want. I am not here to tell you how to do this because it is a very unique experience. This is probably one of my favorite quest lines that I've had in the game so far. So really take a time to explore it as you're doing it. But at a point, you will finally make it into the key, the headquarters for the Crimson Fleet. After you get a tour, you may now talk to Jazz. This is the Crimson Fleet's engineer for their starships. She has, quote unquote, illegal ship modifications that you can add to your ship. I recommend most people do this, Crimson Fleet or not, even if you're trying to be a legal settled systems player, because you can get shielded cargo and you can also get scanner jammers, which are useful for bringing contraband with you on your ship. You can find contraband anywhere while exploring, and sometimes it's easy to forget that you have it on you, and you're gonna get scanned, and then you're gonna get fined for having contraband on you, and it's a whole hassle. So skip it. Get the jammers, get the shielded cargo, and you need shielded cargo in order to smuggle things. Anytime you do have contraband on you, load it onto your ship, and then your 0% chance of evading the scan becomes like a 50, 60, 70, whatever. The contraband that you do have on your ship can be sold once you get it on planet. You can actually go to a trade authority and sell the contraband goods. Alternatively, you can hail ships in space and offer to trade and see if they want to buy the contraband off of you, or you can go back to the key and sell it to each of the vendors there. This also allows you to take on smuggling contracts with the Crimson Fleet, which pay really, really well. And all you have to do is go to whatever planet that you need to smuggle something onto, land, and the quest is complete. That's easy credits, easy experience, and you get to leave, and then do it again. While we're talking about it, the Crimson Fleet, this quest line itself will give you a crap ton of credits depending on some of the choices you make. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best ways to make a lot of credits in the game. And personally, I say if you're going to be in space, be a space pirate. I think it's dope. Wait, there are some tips to help you set up a foundation of getting experience and credits relatively easily so you can start building the character you want to build. Starfield is a great game with multiple ways to tackle some of the things you want to do. While I say this is very useful, find what works for you. If you don't want to take Pilgrim, you do not have to. Take what you want, then get the skills as you go. This is a role-playing game. It has New Game Plus in it. There will be continuous leveling, plenty to do. So don't feel like if your character is already too far now, that you've already messed up. You can always come back to some skills. I hope you enjoy your adventures in the Starfield. I will be making more videos this week talking about some of the factions that you can join and the gear you kind of get from it. So if you're curious about which faction to join or which one you should be putting your time into, hopefully that will be able to answer some of those questions. So until the next video, remember, be kind to one another, say something nice to someone. Take care.